Hi again. Since before World War One, spy fiction has been a popular genre. Then, since World War Two, several fictional spies really caught the popular imagination. Of course, Ian Fleming's James Bond spawned a whole copycat subgenre. Then Len Deighton came along with his unnamed spy. He didn't have a name in the books, but in the films he was called Harry Palmer. And he gave a different take on the characters. And then also in the 60s as well, we had Adam Hall's Quiller. But occupying a very special niche is George Smiley, a fixture in John Le Carre's espionage novels, special because whereas all the others could really be considered action heroes, Smiley is more cerebral, more gentle, yet a devastatingly effective intelligence officer. He first appeared in Call for the Dead, which was actually somewhat more of a detective story, but then was fully featured in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which kicked off the Karla trilogy. Karla being the his counterpart, his very evil counterpart in Soviet intelligence. Smiley also had several vignettes in The Secret Pilgrim. It really does flesh out the character. Now, John Le Carre died a while ago, and usually when other authors attempt to continue a series after the death of the original author, it doesn't usually work. I can't really think of a time it has. For example, the James Bond books were continued by several authors, notably Kingsley Amis, and in my opinion, none of them really worked. Similarly, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, the trilogy, was continued later by two different authors, and it really didn't cut the mustard. Now, Le Carre's son, writing under the pen name of Nick Harkaway, grew up absorbing his father's literary voice. He has thus crafted a truly superb addition to the circus story. George Smiley has gloriously returned. In the intro to the book, Nick talks about the difficulty with the chronology of the series. His father didn't really write with it being a coherent series at all, and eagle-eyed fans can pick out discrepancies and where the timeline doesn't really add up, and this really is very, very apparent in the book A Legacy of Spies, which was his final Smiley appearance, and it really messes about with the known chronology of Smiley and the circus. So that was one difficulty. In the book Karla's Choice, it's great to have the circus family, and for those who don't know, the circus is the slang term for British intelligence, basically Secret Intelligence Service. Great to have the circus family back. Peter Gwilym, Jim Prideaux, Millie McCraig, Toby Esterhazy, and briefly Bill Hayden. Then we have a new character, Lake, who is a scalp hunter, which is the active department based in Brixton. He is ex-SBS, Special Boats Service. As to the plot, now I don't want to give any spoilers away, but basically we have a young lady, Susanna. She escaped Hungary during the 56 Rising, perilous escape, and managed to make it to eventually to London, where she ends up getting a job working for another emigre Hungarian, Banati, who is a publisher. Then he goes missing and she's worried about him, and we find out that during her vetting for asylum in the country, she was introduced to an employment agency, a recruitment agency, which is actually a front for the circus, or a kind of shop window for the circus. And she contacts them and is put in touch with Millie McCrae and tells the story. And they realise there is some... the main reason that they realise it's an espionage event is that a Soviet hitman has turned up looking for Banati, but he doesn't want to kill him. He wants himself to defect to the West. So the circus realised this is actually a Soviet plot. So a Soviet operation. So Control, the head of the circus, making a welcome return, puts a team together. Now, meanwhile, George Smiley has reacted very, very badly to Operation Jackknife, which is the operation which was fully described in A Spy Who Came In From the Cold, in which one of the circus officers, a real old Berlin hand, Alec Lemus, is made to seem to defect, and the whole thing is to strengthen the hand of Munt, who is the circus's spy in German intelligence, or East German intelligence, the Stasi. And it all comes to a terrible end when Alec and his female agent are shot while trying to escape over the wall, shot by Munt. Anyway, this has affected Smiley, and he has actually left the circus employ, and he's living quite an enjoyable life with his wife, Lady Anne. But Control wants him and manages to persuade him to lead the operation. We then have Connie, another returning character, who is the brilliant head of Soviet research, and she determines that Banati was actually a long-term sleeper for Soviet intelligence. So if they manage to locate him and find out why he ran, as a possible espionage windfall for the circus. The search moves to Berlin, still a divided city in 1963 and the epicenter of Cold War spying. Smiley, who can adopt a German personality or numerous German personalities at will, is completely at home there. Then the dangerous step of sending Susanna, escorted by Lake, into Hungary. Now, my only point of contention in the plot is this: disclosing the name of the circus's top spy in the Stasi, Munt, to Susanna, who has no need to know. They could just say, we have information. And she's being sent behind the Iron Curtain, subject to capture, no training in resistance to interrogation, and possible terrible compromise. In fact, to preserve the identity of Munt, it would definitely be worth abandoning the possible windfall of Banati. So I don't see why that was deemed necessary in the plot. And in fact, we were told in a previous book that Smiley has been noted for his inability to use the real name of a Joe, an agent. It's almost a pathological hindrance to him that he can't reveal a real identity. He's so imbued with the necessary for preserving cover. I won't reveal any more of the plot. It's better to read it yourself. It's better if it's revealed during the reading. The book is a delight. Some phrases so elegantly crafted, I read them twice to appreciate their exquisite aptness. Nick Harkaway has really done a superb job. We see George Smiley in action with all the things he's noted for as an interrogator, rather more of somebody who elicits information. He is very, very good at sitting across a table and using empathy to draw out information. And also his mastery of tradecraft on the street, counter surveillance and that kind of thing, and adopting identities. It's a book I will definitely be rereading. Absolute delight. Hope there's many more. I hope Nick Harkaway continues to write more in the Smiley series, and I eagerly await them.